Let's go to matters ICC now, and 3 African nations have formally presented to the United Nations Security Council the draft resolution of the AU seeking the deferral of the 2 Kenyan ICC cases. But even as Rwanda, Togo and Morocco presented the African Union's application, Reuters news agency has reported that the United States is opposed to the deferral.
The petition follows a closed-door informal meeting between African leaders led by Ethiopian Foreign Minister Dr. Tedros Adhanom and Kenya's Foreign Secretary Amina Mohamed. Details of the meeting remain scanty, with African leaders awaiting the decision by the UN Security Council. It remains unclear if the Security Council members agreed to consider the African Union deferral motion on the ICC cases facing President Uhuru Kenyatta and his deputy William Ruto. Nonetheless, Rwanda, Togo and Morocco added impetus to the deferral bid, presenting the AU draft resolution to the council members. African Union is seeking a 1-year deferral of the 2 Kenyan cases. The AU petitioned the Security Council last week to postpone the trials of Kenyatta and Ruto so that they can address the aftermath of the Nairobi Mall attack by Al-Qaeda-linked group Al-Shabaab. The Rwandan ambassador to the United Nations said that they were mandated by the African Union to ensure the deferral is granted, expressing hope that the draft resolution will be supported by all council members. The continental body argues that prosecuting a sitting president and his deputy will destabilize a country that faces the risk of terror attack. Equally, that the president should be allowed to champion for peace and reconciliation in the country. But the 15-member Security Council, which had an impassioned plea for deferral from a delegation of African ministers during an informal meeting on Thursday, is split. Diplomats who spoke to Reuters news agency on condition of anonymity indicated that the United States had stated on Thursday that they were opposed to a deferral. A resolution needs 9 votes and no veto by any of the 5 permanent members, that is the United States, Russia, Britain, China and France. Council diplomats said there was not enough support for a deferral of the Kenyan cases to be approved. Some UN diplomats have noted that the Council had already turned down a previous deferral request by Kenya in 2011 and rejected a request in May for the cases to be terminated because the Council had no such powers. The African Union also plans to raise its apprehension with the International Criminal Court at a November meeting of the Assembly of States Parties, which is made up of the 122 members of the court. ICC has taken much heat over perceived targeting of African leaders. Samogina, KTN.